What is the definition of contract of sale? Definition of contract is different. It comes under Contract Act. Definition of contract of sale, it is different. It comes under Sale of Goods Act. Competition and Consumer Laws. So Competition Act 2002 and Consumer Protection Act 1986. These two acts you are going to study under unit number 3. This unit, that is economic laws, deals with two topics, that is WTO patent rules and FEMA rules 1999. Hello everyone, I am Arun Kumar, lecturer in Department of Commerce and Management, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence, MYSURU. Dear students, welcome to this very first session on the subject Business Regulatory Framework, which is there for 4th semester BCom students who are studying under University of Mysuru. So dear students, in this particular session, I am going to discuss about what is this subject all about and how many units this particular subject consisting of and what and all the topics you are going to study in this particular subject. So let us get into the subject. So how many units we have? So syllabus, okay. So in this particular subject, totally we have 5 units. So how many units we have? Totally we have 5 units. So one thing I have to say about this particular subject, I can say that if you learn this subject, obviously you're going to gain more knowledge about different laws which are there in India, whether it may be, Indian Contract Act, or whether it's Consumer Act, or whether it is about economic laws, whatever. You are going to learn so many things about the laws which are there in our India. So in this particular subject, we have totally 5 units. So which are those? First unit, it deals with Indian Contract Act 1872. That means here you can easily understand that in this particular unit, in first unit, you are going to learn about what is contract, what are the needs of contract, who can get into contract, and how the contract will be executed or how the contract will be, rejected. So about this you are going to study in unit number 1, that is Indian Contract Act 1872. Second unit, the Sale of Goods Act 1930. Sale of Goods Act. So what is goods? So what are the procedure to sell the goods? Who can sell the goods? Who is called an agent? How they are going to determine the price? What and all the laws we are supposed to follow when we are selling the goods to a particular customer as a manufacturer or as a seller. So about this you are going to study under unit number 2, that is the Sale of Goods Act 1930. Third unit, it is Competition and Consumer Laws. Yes, in unit number 3 you are going to learn about Competition Act as well as Consumer Act. So I am going to learn 2 acts under unit number 3, that is Competition Act and Consumer Act. Unit number 4, it is Economic Laws. So in economic laws, you are going to study about what is FEMA. You are going to study about what is FEMA, and you are also going to study about the Patent Act. So what is patent? How we are supposed to take patent? What are the conditions to take patent? So about this all, you are going to study under unit number 4. Last unit, unit number 5, that is Environment and Cyber Laws. Environment and Cyber Laws. In this particular unit, you are going to study about Environment Act as well as about Cyber Laws. So these are all the 5 units what you have in this particular subject for a particular semester, that is for 4th Sem BCom students who are studying under University of Mysuru. So which are the units we have? First one is Indian Contract Act 1872. Second unit, the Sale of Goods Act 1930. Third unit, Competition and Consumer Laws. Fourth unit, Economic Laws. Fifth unit, that is Environment and Cyber Laws. So now let us look into each unit in depth. What are the contents we have in each unit? So if you come to unit number 1, if you look into unit number 1, so here Indian Contract Act 1872 is the unit name. So what and all you are going to study in this unit? What and all the topics you are going to study under this particular unit? So if you look into that, So first you're going to study about introduction part. That means you're going to study the introduction part with respect to what is Indian contract or what is contract, what is agreement. In general, you're going to study. Next, definition of contract. Yes, what is the definition given by the Act for the word contract? That definition you are going to study under Indian Contract Act 1872. Next, essentials of valid contract. That means what and all is required for an essential contract or for a valid contract. See, if you want to get into a contract, what and all is required? Two parties are required. There should be a legal formalities, right? There should be an agreement. There should be a consent between the parties, right? So there are some essentials are required. There are few elements are required to call it as a proper contract or to call it as a valid or essential contract. So here you are also going to study essential of valid contract. Next you also study offer and acceptance. So what is offer? What is acceptance? So according to Indian Contract Act, what is offer and what is acceptance? In general, we all know what is offering and what is acceptance. But according to the Contract Act, what is offer and what is acceptance, that you are going to study under this unit. Next, consideration. So what is the exact meaning of consideration under the Indian Contract Act, that you will be studying. And contractual capacity, the meaning of contractual capacity, free consent, classifications of contract, discharge of contract, breach of contract, and remedies to breach of contract. So these are all the topics what you are going to study under unit number 1 with respect to the Indian Contract Act 1872. Next one, moving further, unit number 2. In unit number 2, the heading of the unit is the Sale of Goods Act 1930. So what is this unit name? The unit name is Sale of Goods Act 1930. So under this, you are going to study the definition of contract of sale. So what is the definition of contract of sale? Definition of contract is different. It comes under Contract Act. Definition of contract of sale, it is different. It comes under Sale of Goods Act. So we are going to study the definition of contract of sale and essentials of contract of sale. That means what and all is required to call it as a valid contract of sale. Next, conditions and warranties. Yes, what is meaning of conditions? What is the meaning of warranties? And transfer of ownership in goods, including sale by a non-owner, and exceptions, performance of contract of sale, and also unpaid seller, who is called unpaid seller, and rights of an unpaid seller against the goods and against the buyer. So these are all the different topics you will be studying under the Sale of Goods Act. So here you are going to study what is contract of sale, what are the essentials required for contract of sale, what is called warranty, what is called conditions, and what will be the rights of an unpaid seller, what will be the rights of a unpaid buyer. So about this all you are going to study in unit number 2. So where you are going to gain the knowledge about the sale of goods. So what and all the requirements you are supposed to fulfill while you are getting to particular type of business, that is the sale of goods. Next, moving further, that is unit number 3. The unit name is Competition and Consumer Laws. Competition and Consumer Laws. Here in this unit, in unit number 3, you are going to study about 2 laws. The very important 2 laws. Which are those 2 laws? The first one is the Competition Act 2002. So in the Competition Act 2002, you are going to study about the objectives of Competition Act. So what are the objectives and why this Competition Act came into existence, and the features of Competition Act and CAT, offences and penalties under Act, under the Competition Act, and Competition Commission of India. So what is this Competition Commission of India? Who and all comes under the Competition Commission of India? How it works? What are the rights of that particular, the commission and what are the duties they are supposed to perform. About this you are going to study under the Competition Act 2002. Next one, Consumer Protection Act 1986. Consumer Protection Act 1986. Under this you are going to study the definitions of the terms, that is consumer dispute, that is the meaning of consumer, the meaning of consumer dispute, what is defect and what is deficiency, what is the meaning of unfair trade practice and services. Next, the rights of consumer under the Act, consumer redressal agencies, and what is this district forum, what is the state commission and what is national commission. About this all you are going to study under Consumer Protection Act 1986. So unit number 3 deals with competition and consumer laws. So Competition Act 2002 and Consumer Protection Act 1986. These two acts you are going to study under unit number 3. Moving further, unit number 4. Unit number 4 deals with economic laws. It deals with economic laws. So under this particular unit, you are going to study about two types of acts. So which are those? That is WTO patent rules and FEMA 1999. So under WTO patent rules, you are going to study about Indian Patent Act 1970, the meaning of Patent Act and the scope of intellectual property rights, that is IPR, procedure to get patent for inventions and non-inventions. So about this you are going to study under WTO patent rules under the Indian Patent Act 1970. Next, under FEMA 1999, so we are going to study about the objectives of FEMA, silent features of FEMA, definition of important terms, and what is authorized dealer and currency, what is foreign currency, what is foreign exchange, and you also study about what is foreign security. So this unit, that is economic laws, deals with two topics, that is WTO patent rules and FEMA rules 1999. Next, unit number 5. Unit number 5, it deals with again with two topics, that is environment and cyber laws. So Environment Protection Act 1986. Environment Protection Act 1986. So objectives of Act, that is objectives of Environment Act, definitions of important terms, that is what is the meaning of environment, what is environmental pollutant and what is environment pollution, what is hazardous substance and occupier, and types of pollutions, what is powers of central government to protect environment in India. What are the powers of central government to protect the environment in India? So these are all the topics you are going to study under unit number 5 with respect to Environment Protection Act 1986. Next, the subtopic, that is cyber law. In cyber law, what is the definition of cyber law? Introduction to Indian cyber law and cyberspace and cyber security. So very minimal topics you are going to study under cyber law. That is only definition, introduction to Indian cyber law, cyberspace and cyber security. So this many topics you are going to study under unit number 5. So moving further, the question paper pattern. The question paper pattern for this particular subject. The question paper pattern is very easy. In part A, you will be asking 5 questions which carries 2 marks. So you will be asking any 5 questions which carries 2 marks or 2 questions which carries 5 marks. You can ask, I know, however you want. Okay, you can ask 5 questions which carries 2 marks or 2 questions which carries 5 marks. So either you'll ask 5 questions or 2 questions, but you'll get the questions for 10 marks in part A. For how many marks you'll get? You'll get the questions for 10 marks in part A. In part B, you'll be asking 2 questions which carries 10 marks each. In part B, you'll be asking 2 questions which carries 10 marks each, totally for 20 marks. Totally for 20 marks. So part A for 10 marks and part B for 20 marks. Part C, You'll be asking 2 questions which carries 15 marks each, totally for 30 marks. Totally for 30 marks. So you'll be writing the paper in the main exam. You'll be writing the exam for how many marks? You'll be writing the exam for, yes, for 60 marks. So question paper pattern is very easy. You'll be having part A, part B and part C. In part A, you'll be attending 5 questions carries 2 marks each, or 2 questions carries 5 marks each, totally for 10 marks. In part B, you'll be attending 2 questions which carries 10 marks each, 20 marks. In part C, you'll be attending 2 questions which carries 15 marks each, 30 marks. So totally for 60 marks, you'll be attending the paper. Next, books for reference. Books for reference. Yes, obviously, whatever we teach in the classroom, along with that, if you refer the books so that you can gain more knowledge. If you refer books so that you can gain more knowledge. Sometimes you'll be having some doubts with respect to some terminology or some definition. So if you have any one of the book, so that you can clarify your doubts by yourself. You need not to wait for a faculty. Yes, obviously we are always there for you to clear your doubts. But whenever in the midnight, if you get a doubt about a particular terminology or about a particular definition, so that you can turn on the page, okay, you can turn off the page and you can get the definition meaning, right? So that is why here we have some books where you can refer books to gain more knowledge about this particular subject. In that, the first book is MC Kunchal and Vivek Kunchal, Business Law, Vikas Publication House, New Delhi. So book name is Business Law, written by MC Kunchal and Vivek Kunchal. Second one, written by Avtar Singh, the book name is Business Law. It is published by Eastern Book Company. Just you need to know the book name and the author name, that is enough. So the book name is Business Law and the author name is Avtar Singh. Next, again, the book name is Legal Aspects of Business. Legal Aspects of Business. The author of book is Ravinder Kumar. Author of the book is Ravinder Kumar. Next one, the name of book is Business Law, written by S.N. Maheshwari and S.K. Maheshwari. So this one also you can refer for more knowledge. Next one, the book name Business Law, written by Agarwal S.K. Next one, Sushma Arora. Book name is Business Law, written by Sushma Arora. So this many books you can refer. Need not to purchase all the 6 books. If you purchase any one of the book, so that very helpful for you to gain more knowledge about the subject business regulatory framework. So with this, I'm going to wind up this session. So from the upcoming sessions, we deal with new topics with respect to this particular subject. Until then, thank you all. Have a nice day. Namaste.